Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Super Blast Deluxe. This came out yesterday. This video probably won't make it onto the internet, but if it does, well, lucky me. So, what is Super Blast Deluxe? First thing to note is that it's horribly slow on its menu screen. Even though it's not really a menu screen, but we'll just have to wait and see for that, won't we? Yeah, look at that frame rate, good lord. But anyway, we'll just skip past this little intro, because I actually did skip past this intro the first time. Alright, so, this is the main menu. There's not really that much to it. You've got a barrel over there, a barrel over there, and there's more barrels out that way. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stop in at the Imp headquarters. I would have called it the Imp shop. Just rolls off the tongue a little... Rolls off the tongue. What the hell is a tum? Rolls off the tongue a little better. So, the way this game works is that you've got different characters that all have different abilities and they're all actually relatively useful. I prefer Sammy the Fox because you get more points with him on average compared to Red, which is the default character, and I've also got one other character unlocked, yeah. Jagger the Rat, which basically is just a guy who can't stop failing, but there are a lot of characters and they all have their own unique abilities, which is quite useful. You've also got 4 unique skills. Unfortunately, I've only got 2 of them, which is a little weird because I'm halfway through the game. You get this one immediately, and you only get this one when you beat the 3rd world, which there's like 6 because there's like 60 levels in this game. So, yeah, I've only got 2 of the power-ups right now, and you can equip them to one of 3 slots, which you unlock via points, and you can also enhance them via points. So, as we can see here, I can get a high level of focus by dumping 800 points into it. And it makes time go even slower and lets me use the power. So yeah, every power can be upgraded for this ability. I've got both power-ups level 5 at the moment, so that's alright. So away we go, out of the Imp headquarters. Another annoyingly long loading time. Thankfully the game does not run this terribly when you're actually in the levels. So it actually runs fine here, but as soon as you turn out to the wider world, it just dies. I remember Jack and Daxter having a problem like this. If you went into one of the headquarters of like the Resistance, I think it was, and then turned out towards the city, your frame rate would just drop dramatically. But anyway, this is the 4th set of levels. I haven't played them yet, so this will be fun, won't it? But yeah, the idea is you have 10 levels in every set, and you've got to get enough both gold chilies and stars in order to unlock the next set of levels. In order to unlock levels in the same set, and then you've got to beat every level in the set to unlock the next set of levels, which is quite annoying, I have to say. But anyway, so here we go. Look familiar? Probably does if you've played Donkey Kong Country or similar platformers, but mostly Donkey Kong Country. Whoops. The idea is you are this imp, or, you know, whatever character you are at this point. God damn it. And you can do whatever the damn hell you want. You have to try and get through this obstacle course without running into something. So, you've got those evil green masks there, whatever the bloody hell they're called. I don't think they've got a name. They're just called like bad guys in the game's manual. And you've got just general spike walls and stuff that you need to try and avoid and stuff like that. And the idea is you've got to get through all the levels via timing your blasts, I can't tell if I'm saying that right, out of these barrels. So yeah, it is basically just like Donkey Kong Country. And there are just a couple of types of barrels. It doesn't get too complicated, at least, god damn it, at least as far as the manual, damn it, says. So you've got just these general barrels which let you shoot in one direction and no more. Damn it. And you've also got gold barrels which will shoot you at the next thing automatically. And you've also got barrels which you control your shots for manually, which is quite annoying, honestly. They're probably the worst barrels in the game purely because it's kind of a pain in the ass to aim them. But I'm positive I'll be seeing one at some point, so you don't have to worry about a thing. I'll be able to show you just how annoying those ones are. I think I'll turn on my time slowing power up. Nope, didn't help in the slightest. 'Great. 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 You also have golden chilies. Golden chilies give you points, and you've also got red chilies, which also give you points. You also have a barrel chain, so the longer you survive inside a set of barrels, the more points you'll get for it at the end of the stage. You can also do tricks using the right analog stick, which I'll try and demonstrate here. So if you use the right analog stick, or if you swipe on the screen, I mean, you can play this game via the, you can play this game entirely via the touchscreen, but I wouldn't recommend it. But at the same time, it might be the only way you can get shit done in this game. It's a little annoying. God, this level is just a nightmare. I can't see what I'm bloody doing. But yeah, you can do tricks with the right analog stick like this. So yeah, as you can see, and if you manage to do a bunch of tricks without actually repeating a single trick, well, they'll give you a big point bonus for it at the end. So the idea is you gotta try and get through the stages as fast as possible without, well, hopefully without crashing. I mean, that's a given. But you've also got to try and get through with as many points as you can get. Hang on, hang on. And you've also got to try and get through as fast as possible. Because see that counter that's slowly ticking away in the corner there? Yeah, you run out of time and the level just ends immediately. Like, dying in this game just slows you down. That's all dying does. And obviously, if you get to the end with a lot of time left, you'll get a lot of, oh wow, okay, I'm gonna have to go back and earn some more. If you get to the end with a lot of time, you'll get a lot of bonus points. But if you don't, well, you won't get a lot of bonus points. And you run into this situation I have here where I can't continue without actually getting better on some of the previous levels. So, actually, you know what? Just to keep things varied and moving a little bit, I'll go back to the third set of levels and start from, say, halfway. There's actually a bunch of levels I want to actively avoid at this point, but considering I'm actually trying to talk and everything. So yeah, that's the general idea of the game. You just gotta try and get to the end as fast as possible without fucking it up. And admittedly, for the most part, this game's actually pretty damn good at that. All things considered, the game does run very well, and it does keep things interesting with the way its puzzles are laid out, and there's definitely a lot to collect with the 3 golden chilies in every level. And the power-ups do help you out massively, except now I just can't aim at this bloody thing to save my life. There we go. And trying to get a high score is relatively satisfying. Because you can do silly shit like tricks and all that. It's alright. It's fun. Can be a pain in the ass sometimes though. There are a couple of things that are annoying about it. Like those manual cannons I told you about. Man, those things are just horrendously frustrating. Because the idea is you have to aim them using either the analog stick or the touchscreen, so it's not the best solution already, because since my analog stick is kind of balked, I end up having problems trying to aim the damn thing. Damn it. I end up having problems trying to aim the damn thing, mainly because my analog stick's aim just tends to go all over the place. There's also the annoying thing with the fact that some of the power-ups are like, the checkpoints in this game are really oddly placed. Like, the game tries to make an effort in saying that it will put you back at the safest barrel that it can see. But that's a lie most of the time, because sometimes it'll just be like, it'll throw you like 3 barrels back despite the fact that the barrel you were just in was perfectly, god damn it, was perfectly fine. Like, see, I was perfectly fine in that barrel there, and yet for some reason the game's like, nope, I'm just gonna put you right back to where you were, buddy. And now I just launched myself to the goal. So those are a couple of itchy points that the game's got. A little bit annoying. Also kind of annoying is the fact that you don't actually get all your power-ups. Like, this is the halfway point of the game, and I've been playing for like an hour and a half. Game's got 60 levels, so it probably will take longer than 3 hours, purely because the game is just so mind-bendingly difficult at times. I hate this bit. It's a freaking maze, is what it is. So see, you just have to be constantly working your way through here. And to be fair, if you just kept, like, slamming the X button here, it would be a great way to earn, like, tons of points. Because, again, these are the points that you spend to upgrade stuff. But yeah, boom. That's actually a pretty easy level, all things considered. I'll go back to the main menu so I don't run across those levels that give me trouble later on. And I will admit, there is one other reason that I don't like the manual barrels, mainly because they tend to get in the way of the game's, like, single button gameplay. Because the game does actually work pretty well. Super Blast Deluxe does work pretty well when you're just working on focusing on your timing and your power-up timing and not having to aim something. Like, when you can play the game entirely with one hand, just rather relaxed, it's actually quite nice because you can just sit back and focus entirely on your timing. When you've got to aim stuff, it just kind of falls apart because the aiming is kind of annoying, and you do have to be precise with your aiming. Don't get me wrong. Whoops. Whoops. The game is fun, though. I'll give it that. I mean, I didn't even notice an hour and a half had gone by when I was playing it, so that's probably got a good start going for it. It is a port of a mobile game, so it's not as complex as something you might see in a title designed for Vita natively or PlayStation consoles natively, but honestly, it's not that bad. It's kept me entertained for a fair bit, and probably keeps someone who likes being a masochist entertained for a fair amount of time. Not gonna let that happen. I don't know if the game's got high scoreboards. Probably does. There is an infinite mode, which I will show off. Actually, I'll go and show it off now, because it does actually show off, like, the cityscape. Because the cityscape is, what's the word? The cityscape is, like, the first level, so we'll just be constantly varying it up a little bit. So yeah, game's got a few minor niggles, but overall, I don't really mind it. It is extremely hard. Like, don't get me wrong. The game's first few levels are pretty easy, and they do let you settle in a bit, though, so it is quite nice. Apparently, they've also hidden secrets around the place, which is relatively weird, because I found no place to get to the actual secrets. So, you know, that's a good start, isn't it? The secrets are so secret I can't even find them, but anyway. So the way survival mode works, you start off with 30 seconds, and you've got to try and make your way through the stage as fast as humanly possible. Thankfully, when you finish a section, you get bonus time. So you can actually go on for a very long time in this. And admittedly, the survival mode's probably my favorite part about the game, purely because of, well, it's shit. I thought I had a barrel directly below me. There is a little bit of a problem with depth perception in this game, but you do kind of get used to it. Kinda. But yeah, the infinite mode's probably my favorite part of the game, just because it's the sort of mode you'd expect in this sort of game, and it actually does work pretty well. I'm gonna slow down time, because I do not trust myself with this part. That's a way. That's not the way, because I'm not going to land in that barrel, and I'm going to die. And I'm all the way back here, so yeah. See what I mean by safe barrels being completely arbitrary? Because the game does mention, like, in the manual and the tutorial that you do end up... You do end up always getting sent back to what is known as a safe barrel, but safe barrel is just arbitrary. They might as well have just called them checkpoints. But, other than that, there's not really that much else to Super Blast Deluxe. I don't mind it. I really don't. It's got everything it needs. It's surprisingly difficult. It's got a relatively satisfying gameplay loop. and figuring out all the devilish tricks they've got hidden in these levels. Oh, that's a little bit of a bug there. Time has gone red. But, yeah, I'm going to slow down time here. Damn it! Bloody crushes. Oh, great. I'm all the way back here, too. What a jip. Bloody survival, man. But yeah, it's got more than enough to keep things interesting. The kit's having a fit. That's not the game, that's the kit. We'll just head back to the main menu right now. Bloody hell, the frame rate's dropped massively. That's not right. But yeah, that was a quick look at Super Blast Deluxe. These are the people that made it. So yeah. Also the music. Turn off the music. You can turn off the music here if you want to. Just, yeah, turn it off. Because it does get very repetitive after a while, especially since, like, the first 3 sets of levels all have the same music. But, yeah. Super Blast Deluxe is not that bad. I mean, I would personally, like, if I had to... Well, I didn't buy it. I got a review code. But, personally, if I was telling you to buy it, I'd tell you to wait until it goes down to, like, $5 or less. But for $5 or less, it's fantastic. At its current price, which is around $10, it might be a little much for me, personally. You might be fine jumping in at that price, but yeah, Super Blast Deluxe isn't that bad. It really isn't. Could do to be a little cheaper, could do to have better performance and just a little bit of tweaking of the gameplay, but otherwise it's actually pretty good. And unabashedly hard, which is, you know, in this sort of game is probably what you want. But yeah, this has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.